You ever meet somebody who's 70 years old, but somehow they have more energy than people who are 30? Like seriously. You see them walking around smiling, talking to strangers, making jokes, enjoying life. Meanwhile, some people wake up at 28 already tired of existing. How does that happen? And no, it's not always genetics. It's not some secret vitamin from a mountain nobody can find. And it's definitely not because they drink celery juice while standing on one leg facing the sunrise, although if that's your thing. I'm not here to judge. What's interesting is that many people who seem younger than their age don't just have different bodies. They have different mornings, tiny habits, small things, things that look almost too simple to matter. But over time, those little habits shape your mood, your energy, your outlook, even the way other people experience you. And today we're talking about 6 of them, not extreme habits, not wake up at 4 a.m. and wrestle a bear. Nobody wants that. These are small things, simple things, the kind of habits that make you feel lighter, more alive, more connected to yourself. And, surprisingly, many of them connect deeply with ideas that fascinated Carl Jung, because Jung believed something most people completely miss. Growing older isn't the same thing as growing old. Big difference. One is unavoidable, the other is optional. So while we're talking today, I want you to think about something. Which habit do you think you've completely ignored lately? And be honest, because one of these might explain why you've been feeling drained. Let's get into it. Habit 1. Stop starting your day in emergency mode. Okay, let's begin with a habit almost everybody breaks. The second they wake up. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Alarm goes off, your eyes open, and before your brain has even loaded properly, you grab your phone. Notifications, emails, messages, news, social media, some random person arguing about something that has absolutely nothing to do with your life, and suddenly, your day starts with stress. You weren't even fully awake yet, but somehow you're already annoyed. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. You wake up in your own bed. Nobody is chasing you. Nothing is on fire. And yet your nervous system feels like it's escaping a zombie attack. Every morning. Jung often spoke about becoming conscious instead of living automatically. And that's exactly what happens when we start our day reacting. We're not choosing our attention, we're surrendering it. Imagine opening your front door every morning and letting random strangers walk into your house and tell you what to think. Sounds ridiculous, right? That's basically what social media notifications do. And here's the funny part. Most of those notifications aren't even important. Half of them are things you'll forget in 3 hours. But somehow they steal your energy immediately. People who feel younger often do something different. They create a small gap, a few quiet moments before the world enters. Maybe they sit on the edge of the bed. Maybe they stretch. Maybe they drink water. Maybe they stare out the window pretending they're in a movie. Whatever works. The point is simple. They start their day. The day doesn't start them. And honestly, this tiny change can feel weird at first, because your phone has become your emotional support animal. Some of us panic if we don't check it for 7 minutes. Let's be honest, but try it. Tomorrow morning, just 10 minutes. No phone, no scrolling, no chaos. Just exist. That's it. And if 10 minutes feels impossible, congratulations, you've just discovered how badly you need it. Because youthful energy isn't only physical, it's mental space, and most people give away theirs before breakfast. Now I want to ask you something. How many minutes after waking up do you check your phone? Be honest. 30 seconds. 5 minutes. Immediately. Drop it in the comments. No judgment. This is a safe place. Mostly. Unless you check your phone before your eyes are even open, then we may need to have a conversation. And the crazy thing, this first habit leads directly into the second one, Because once you stop filling every second with noise, something interesting starts happening. You begin hearing a voice you've been ignoring for years, your own, and that's where habit number 2 comes in. Habit 2. Give your mind 2 minutes of silence now before anybody clicks away. No. I'm not about to tell you to sit cross-legged on top of a mountain. No chanting, no magical crystals, no becoming a monk by Thursday. Relax. I'm talking about 2 minutes. Just 2. 2 minutes where nothing is demanding your attention. And honestly, for many people that's harder than running a marathon, because silence feels strange now. We're constantly surrounded by noise, music, videos, podcasts, notifications, people, screens, opinions, advertisements. Everybody wants access to your attention. Everybody. The weird thing is, most people haven't been alone with their own thoughts in years. Not really. And Jung believed that a huge part of personal growth comes from meeting yourself honestly. Not the version performing for others, the real version, the one underneath all the distractions. Now here's the funny part. The first time you sit quietly, your brain becomes absolutely ridiculous. Suddenly you'll remember something embarrassing from 2014, a conversation from 6 years ago, a random song lyric, the fact that giraffes exist. Your mind starts throwing everything at you. It's hilarious, but that's normal, because your brain finally has room to breathe. And after a while, something shifts. You feel calmer, more present, less rushed, more grounded. It's like cleaning a dirty window. The world doesn't change, you just see it more clearly. And people who maintain that clarity often carry something that makes them seem younger. A lighter energy, a softer presence, less emotional chaos, more peace. And trust me, peace ages better than stress, every single time. Habit 3. Stay curious about life. All right. Here's a question. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Not something huge. You don't need to go skydiving. I'm talking about something small. Trying a new food, walking a different route, listening to a type of music you normally avoid, learning something random, maybe even figuring out why people are obsessed with sourdough bread. Seriously. What happened there? One day, everybody woke up and decided flour was a personality trait. But here's why this matters. One of the fastest ways to feel old isn't your age, it's predictability. Doing the exact same thing, thinking the exact same thoughts, having the exact same reactions, every single day. Your body might be alive, but your sense of discovery slowly falls asleep. And children? They're naturally curious. Everything fascinates them. A bug, a cloud, a cardboard box. Sometimes they like the box more than the actual gift. Meanwhile, adults are walking around acting like they've already seen everything, as if life has no surprises left. Jung believed growth never really stops. There's always another layer to discover, another part of yourself to understand, another perspective waiting to be explored. The people who seem young often have this quality. They remain interested in life, interested in people, interested in ideas, interested in learning. They don't know everything, and they don't pretend to. And honestly, nothing ages a person faster than believing they've got the whole world figured out. You know the type. Every conversation starts with, "Actually, nobody invited Professor, actually." Yet here he is, again. Curiosity keeps your mind flexible, and flexibility keeps you alive inside. Tomorrow morning, ask yourself one simple question. What can I explore today? That's it. One thing. One new thing. And watch how differently the day feels. Because life becomes exciting again when you're not trying to be the smartest person in every room. You're trying to be the most interested. Quick question. What is something you've never tried but always wanted to? Put it in the comments. You never know. Somebody might read it and finally convince you to do it, and if your answer is, eat an entire pizza alone, please know that's not a hobby. That's a Saturday. Habit 4. Move before your excuses wake up. Okay, this one is important. And don't panic. Nobody is about to make you do burpees. I promise. Because every time somebody says exercise, half the audience immediately disappears. People start hiding. Closing curtains, pretending they didn't hear anything. Relax. We're talking about movement, not punishment. Big difference. One thing you'll notice about people who stay youthful is this. They move. Not because they're obsessed with fitness, not because they're trying to become superheroes. They move because movement creates energy. And here's the weird trick. Most people think they need energy before they move. It's actually the opposite. Movement creates the energy. I know. It's unfair. I didn't make the rules. You can wake up feeling tired, take a short walk, stretch, dance badly in your kitchen, and somehow your brain starts working again. It's like hitting the refresh button. And can we talk about kitchen dancing for a second? Nobody looks cool doing it. Nobody. Not even you. Especially not you. But that's part of the magic. It's playful. And playfulness is another thing we lose as adults. Somewhere along the way, people decided adulthood means being serious all the time. Why? Who made that rule? Have you met adults? We're all confused. We're just paying bills now. Jung often talked about integrating different parts of ourselves, including the playful parts, the parts that are spontaneous, creative, alive. Movement reconnects you with those parts. Even 5 minutes can change your mood. 5 minutes. That's shorter than most people spend deciding what to watch on Netflix. So tomorrow morning, move. Not to lose weight, not to impress anyone. Move because your body was designed for it, and because feeling younger starts with acting alive, not sitting perfectly still while scrolling through other people's lives. Now tell me honestly, what's your favorite way to move? Walking, stretching, dancing, chasing your dog because he stole something again? Let me know. I genuinely want to see the answers. Habit 5. Stop borrowing negativity before breakfast. This habit might be the sneakiest one, because almost everyone does it, and most people don't even notice. You wake up, you feel okay, not amazing, not terrible, just normal. Then you open your phone, and suddenly the world is ending. Everybody's angry, everybody's arguing, everybody's offended. Somebody you've never met is fighting another person you've never met. And somehow, 10 minutes later, you're stressed too. Amazing. You borrowed negativity before breakfast without realizing it. Think about how strange that is. Your day was fine. Then you downloaded somebody else's emotional baggage for free. People who seem younger often protect their energy differently. They're informed, but they're not emotionally available for every crisis on Earth before 8 a.m. And honestly, that's wisdom, not selfishness. Wisdom. Jung understood something powerful. What you repeatedly focus on shapes your inner world. Feed your mind fear all morning. You'll carry fear. Feed your mind frustration all morning. You'll carry frustration. Feed your mind gratitude, curiosity, meaning, and guess what follows you? Exactly. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing what enters your mind first. Because mornings are powerful. Your mind is impressionable, like wet cement. Whatever lands there first tends to leave a mark. So maybe tomorrow, instead of starting with chaos, start with something better. A walk, a book, a prayer, music, a quiet cup of coffee. Anything that reminds you life is bigger than headlines. Because protecting your peace isn't weakness, it's maintenance. And trust me, A peaceful person almost always looks younger than a stressed person. Always. By the way, how many of you drink coffee in the morning? Be honest. I know you're here. The coffee people always reveal themselves eventually. And speaking of coffee, if you're enjoying this video, and it's making your mornings a little brighter, you can support me with a coffee. Seriously, it helps me keep creating videos like this. And I appreciate every single one of you who chooses to do that. No pressure. Just gratitude. Now let's keep going. Habit 6. Give yourself a reason to get up. This one might be the most important habit of all, because every other habit depends on it. Purpose. Not a huge purpose. Not change the world by next Tuesday. Relax. A simple reason. Something that pulls you forward. Something you're looking forward to. A lot of people think youth is about appearance, but when you really look closely, youth has more to do with enthusiasm. People who lose enthusiasm often feel old long before they actually are. And people who keep enthusiasm, they stay vibrant, even into their 70s, 80s, 90s. You've probably met someone like that. They light up when they talk. They have projects, goals, interests, dreams, things they're excited about, and that excitement becomes fuel. Jung believed that meaning is essential to psychological health. Humans need something to move toward. Without it, life starts feeling repetitive, heavy, grey. But with it, even ordinary days feel different. You wake up with energy, not because everything is perfect, but because something matters. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your faith, maybe it's a creative project, maybe it's helping others, maybe it's learning, maybe it's building something, whatever it is. Don't underestimate it. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be real. And when you wake up tomorrow, ask yourself, what am I looking forward to today? If you struggle to answer, that's valuable information. Because maybe it's time to create something worth looking forward to. Not someday, today. And that simple shift changes everything. Because people don't become young by accident. They stay connected to life. And life responds. Now before we finish, I want to know something. Which of these 6 habits do you think would help you the most right now? Habit 1, creating space before checking your phone. Habit 2, a little silence. Habit 3, more curiosity. Habit 4, more movement. Habit 5, protecting your energy. Or habit 6, finding a reason to get excited again. Tell me in the comments. I read them, and your answer might help somebody else too, because chances are they're struggling with the same thing. And here's the thing I hope you remember after this video ends. Feeling younger isn't always about turning back the clock. It's about bringing yourself back to life. Little by little. Day by day. Morning by morning. The people who seem younger than their age usually aren't chasing youth. They're practicing aliveness, and that's available to every one of us. Starting tomorrow morning. Maybe even starting today. If you enjoyed this video and it made you smile, or think, or maybe laugh at least once, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can support me with a coffee. It genuinely helps me keep making these videos, and I appreciate it more than you know. Until next time, take care of yourself. Stay curious, stay playful, and remember, growing older is automatic. Growing old is a choice. See you in the next video.